Hello, we are the geeks and the degenerates. Huh?
This movie shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay.
Uh, Another late one we're starting with, which is Everything Everywhere All at Once, starring Michelle Yeoh. Or as, we like to call it, Michelle Yeoh in the Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, this is crazier than Multiverse of Madness. Not
Right?
gonna lie. Like this a Multiverse of Madness is underwhelming compared to the amount of madness A24 went with this fucking movie.
Yeah, like, the Simpsons meme of, like, that's how you fucking do it.
Yeah, hey, Multiverse of Madness is still a good movie.
It is, but, like, compared to this, you're like, wow. This
Yeah,
movie didn't give any fucks. Of like, we don't care if you don't get it. We're marching to the tune of our own beat.
yeah.
But yeah, quick fun fact: this was supposed to star Jackie Chan, but he rejected it. And then Michelle Yeoh took it up, and she's like, "You lose, my dude."
Jackie? Jackie Chan?
Yeah,
Jackie, I don't want any trouble, Chan?
yeah,
Damn, man, you missed out.
yeah.
Wait, so what? They weren't supposed to cast the kid from Indiana Jones as the husband at first.
All right, that's him. Fuck.
Yeah.
The short round.
Yeah, it's Mr. Jones.
You call him Dr. Jones. That movie's essentially very racist, and we'll touch upon that some other time. But yeah, fuck. I just realized. Fuck.
Yeah, Ki Hyun Kwan.
Fuck. Okay, I liked him in this one, but before we get into this, like, when I started watching this movie, I'm like, I feel like this movie's overrated. Like, I won't get into it, and then it just sucks me, and I'm like, oh fuck.
To be honest, man, I really thought it was kind of like a woke. I like woke shit, just not the very like annoying kind of woke. Yeah, like they shove it in your face kind of woke.
Yeah,
I thought it was this kind of movie, and then I was like, okay, it's a
yeah.
family drama with I guess a little bit of madness. I did not watch the trailer, by the way.
Neither did I. I went in very fresh for this.
Yeah, everything was blank. So, I mean, if we did watch the trailer, we would have shown it on Facebook. By the way,
Yeah.
watch it on Facebook. Our early trailer reactions.
Multiple
before the movie
trailer.
comes out.
Yeah, multiple trailer reactions, but yeah. It starts out. Michelle Yeoh Evelyn is her character, and she's trying to uh, deal with her failing laundromat. Like, she's so, her mind's racing all the time. Like, I have to worry about this, and then my daughter's doing something, but my father, who I kind of have a past with, is coming from China, and then I still have to deal with my husband, who's also kind of more worrisome than me, but like, he's also pretty much a wreck too.
Yeah, like from the start, you see that what's his name again?
The husband,
The husband. Yeah,
Waymon.
Wayman. I love that. I was like you can see that he was he's not very not a bit he's a dunce
Hmm.
kind of character at the start. Like the man, you could see that you would think that he doesn't really care much except for being happy, like a Darwin Watterson kind of character. If you guys know that cartoon, shit, I forgot the name.
uh, and also, like, her daughter trying to be like, please accept the fact that I have a girlfriend. I hope Grandpa doesn't mind either. And
Yeah,
he's very traditional, and she's like, I don't wanna, walk that bridge just yet.
yeah. The voice played by James Hong, by the way, the grandpa.
Yeah,
Amazing actor. Love
Ama-
getting Tokyo Panda.
dude is 98 and he's still killing it. No, sorry, 92 and he's still killing it. Like, maybe when I'm 92, I hope I'm that active.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought the guy was like 70 at least. Jesus Christ.
He's rightfully so this year finally earned his walk of star of fame in the Hollywood walkway.
Hey!
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. That's great.
But yeah, they have to work with the IRS because they're filing for their taxes, or like they're gonna help expand their laundromat. And then the IRS are like, we have to make sure some things are, fine. And this is the one thing I did not expect to see. Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. The auditor was Jamie Lee Curtis. I was like,
I'm like,
Who are you?
yeah.
What's happening here?
Like it took me a while. I'm like, oh my god, that's Laurie Strode from
Yeah,
Halloween.
right. My love, Jamie Lee
Yeah,
Curtis, childhood crush. But I was like, dude, like remember when like at the start of the film where she's talking to her daughter and they're going through some shit and she's like, oh, you have to go with us to the audit because you're a translator and your father's such a problem. But you kind of see the father isn't like a complete dunce because you can see he's trying to file for a divorce because he's not happy anymore.
yeah,
And I was like, that's kind of sad to see from a happy-go-lucky kind of character right off the get-go.
yeah,
Like, he's not, he's not stupid,
yeah.
you know.
And you kind of,
And then you see it.
I like this that you kind of see their backstory and like, it's such a I don't know with Asian families, it's such a relatable thing. And like, don't marry that guy, otherwise you'll be in big trouble with us. We'll disown.
Oh yeah, you're not family.
Yeah,
Yet he comes into, America to see it. I don't get it.
yeah,
But yeah, and you see through the cameras, the surveillance cameras, that there's something off about the husband.
yeah,
Like, oh, this is where the weird shit comes in. I'm still not sold.
yeah,
And as we go on, I was like, and you get to the elevator scene, I was like, that's when we're like, oh, this movie is way bigger than we thought.
yeah. There's
Which
this,
I
go on, no, go on.
which I think is like on purpose from the directors. Where they're like, it's like a Key and Peele skit where it looks normal from the beginning and it starts to get outrageous as we go on.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, it's sticking to the theme where I'm a little peck in this universe and I don't understand anything.
yeah.
Like legit, you do not know how this movie's gonna go.
Like Wayman suddenly turns, he's like, "There's a darkness coming after us. Like, just listen to what I say. Don't do this. Do this." And you're like, "What the fuck?
Fuck this.
When did the husband start talking like this?"
Yeah, right? He wasn't Mr. Jones anymore.
Yeah.
Well, kinda.
Even so, like, please don't hurt me. I don't want any trouble. He's
Yeah.
like very forthcoming and like commanding. He's like, "You do this. Wait for my signal." And like,
Yeah.
Michelle was like, "The fuck."
Yeah, and we get to the auditor, and that's when we see Jamie Lee Curtis. Still fine, just letting you know. And bit by bit, you can see her coming in and out of other dimensions.
Yeah.
Yes, if you haven't watched the movie and you're watching this video, yes, we do talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's dimensional shit here.
Yeah. And then at one point they're in the closet and like there's danger coming, and then they keep going back and forth between her listening to Jamie Lee Curtis, not paying attention, and to them
Yeah.
hiding in the closet. And Jamie Lee,
Going back to her husband.
and Jamie Lee Curtis is like, "Are you even paying attention? Why are you taking this seriously?" And like, as the door's being broken down, it's Jamie Lee Curtis like with some demonic shit on her head, like, huh?
Until you find out what it really meant.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and we just found out that like whatever happens, like say you get killed in one universe, and you're kind of linked to it,
Yeah.
it affects you in the other world where
Yeah.
you get hit by like a lead pipe, your body just goes. Bah! But yeah,
And it's so confusing too, because Raymond keeps switching personalities that to the point he's like, "You know about this?" And on one side it's the board, and the other side it's the instruction. She's like, I understand. I think.
yeah, yeah, like she was writing on the divorce papers that she doesn't know about, and then Waymond like finds out like, oh, you do know about this. Since when? And she was like, I don't know if was this? I don't want to fight. And I was like, I don't think we have a choice.
And then
But
at that time, Jamie Lee Curtis just walks up to them. Like, you don't know why she's walking to them like that. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, a lot of misunderstanding in this this sequence.
And then
Because
there's
in the
Dexter.
other universe, Jamie Lee Curtis tried to kill them, and she
Yeah.
thought that this is the Jamie Lee Curtis trying to kill them.
Yeah.
So she punches the auditor.
Security!
Like, oh no. Yeah. And we get an amazing scene that I did not expect this movie to go down.
Right?
I was like,
He uses his fucking fanny pack as like a weapon. Like, I didn't know he could do that.
right? Like he taps into another dimension with like that has kung fu skills.
Yeah.
Amazing. A24, you're showing your skill in. Well, the Russo brothers were kind of here to help with the
Yeah.
directing with.
Like the screen changes frame.
Oh yeah, and like
Yeah.
the aspect ratio
Yeah,
like
yeah,
feels
yeah.
a little bit smaller. But like seeing this, I was like, A24 with Northman and this, you are fucking killing
Right?
with the choreography and the fight scenes.
He also like puts rocks from the aquarium to like make it have more weight.
Dude, he does that thing where like there's no chair, but he sits down,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that is so sick.
And the security's like, oh shit, we're fucked.
Yeah, Greg. Oh fuck. Oh, that was an amazing scene with a fanny pack. See, this is why Sigma males carry these around.
And as this madness goes along, Alan's like, explain to me what the fuck is happening. What something is down? It's like, oh
Yeah.
well, first of all, we are one of many, many multi-universes. Secondly, there's this darkness. Jobu, I forgot how to say the last name, is hunting
Yeah.
us down, and you don't know who Jobu is until like she speaks to the dead Michelle. You're like, I think that's Joy, or another
Yeah.
Joy.
Joy is pretty much the daughter
Yeah,
of Michelle Yeoh, who is the lesbian daughter who she was kind of ashamed of.
yeah, because early on,
Actually-
to the grandfather's like, this is my daughter, and that's her best friend. She's like, wow.
Yeah, like Joy's like, oh, it's like that. It was like, but he's from a different generation. That's not the point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And you find out the Jobu's backstory is that she had her own Michelle Yeoh that pushed her to the breaking point. Now she experiences everything in every universe all at once.
yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah, yeah.
That. But
Oh.
if ever you want a summary of Joy's character, think of Frank Miller, but in a Asian body, a small Asian girl's body, where nihilism is just everything.
Oh my god.
Nothing matters. We're just a
And-
small speck in the universe.
You also find out the rules that what they do is called verse jumping, and that to acquire the techniques or the skills, you have to do something utterly ridiculous to, like learn kung fu. Like you have to.
Dude, like I swear, shit was ridiculous as fuck. Like they would have to do something crazy, like oh, you need a paper cut on each, like on 4 sides of your fingers or something like that. I was like, why? Or like you would have to eat a chapstick. You have to do something weird for you to gain the skills
Yeah.
for you to tap into. It makes sense though. Like I can't explain it as properly as this movie can. But to tap into this weird universe, you just have to do something weird for you to have a full connection to that universe, so you could get the skills.
Yeah, and you have to be wired to because they have these earpieces.
Yeah,
Uh,
of that version of you.
And like when Jamie Lee Curtis verse jumps to become a professional wrestler, apparently, like
Mhm.
Michelle Yeoh Evelyn has to profess her love like in a proper way. You can't be like,
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, it's I love you.
Yeah,
But,
that's right.
I gotta love that scene though. What?
I was like, seeing Jamie Lee Curtis do a fucking drop kick. I'm like, whoa.
No, I mean you gotta love.
Yeah,
Because you see that scene with is this Wayman where she pretty much she's gonna do a backbreaker. He takes like the exit sign and covers his back so he doesn't get Batman.
yeah. Like, wait, how is Jamie Lee Curtis' knee not shattered from that?
I don't know.
I don't
I really
know.
don't know. But you saw she was in pain.
Yeah. And then
Oh.
she does a flying knee as Miss Evelyn does her professor love her, like, I love you.
Yeah. And this is where we get Michelle Yeoh, like, it was so good. Her doing her full on kung fu shit. What was the name of that movie she was in again? It was like
Crouching.
Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, that's what she's arguably best known for. Her martial arts shit. And then you also saw, like, Jobu already crossed the security line, and she doesn't know she's the bad guy. But she comes into the office as they're being arrested. And, like, the security guard's like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, no, you're actually saying that you're not letting me be here. Which you cannot do. Because I can do everything.
And this man just turns into confetti. She pretty much...
She pile drives! One of the security guards like, oh shit!
When she kills people, it's rough.
Yeah! Like, that's why.
My God.
That's such a protective move in wrestling, fuck!
And, just saying, there's that one security guard who was like, Greg! Oh fuck! Just imagine you reading the script and beaten half to death by 2 dildos.
Sure.
Like, sign me up, I guess.
Oh
my God.
For a bit, it's like, I can take you on. And then she's like, really? Tap into one of the universes. And she tries to, and then she enters the universe where you have hot dog fingers.
Sausages for fingers.
That one's grossed out. I'm like, oh.
I don't like that. I really don't. Like, okay, it's kind of weird and funny. I really thought they were just gonna be there for a bit and just jump to another weird universe. But they really stay on this, and they really expand on the story of this weird world that we have sausage fingers.
Yeah, like it flashes back to 2001: A Space Odyssey, where hot dog ape kills regular ape.
Thus, us been evolving with sausage fingers.
Oh god, when they bite down, like, ugh, stop.
Oh no, they didn't bite down. It's like,
or like
it's not as nice because what comes out of the hot dog fingers is mustard and ketchup, but how it comes out of it, I'll let your imagination take its course because I feel like we're not gonna be allowed to say this on YouTube.
But yeah, she gets saved by her dad. Like, he comes in like the Flash with a wheelchair. Like, the fuck is happening?
Flash disabled. Sorry.
Of course, there's this instance where Waymon and then all of them keep going back to normal, to regular Waymon, because he's like, I don't understand what's happening. Why are we hiding? What's happening? And then he comes back to like, alright, this is our mission. Like, he keeps switching from Captain America to someone else. I don't know how to feel about this.
But it's so weird though, cause Ki-Hyo Kwan, this man has been in hiatus for years after Indiana Jones. I feel like he was in other
small
movies in early 90s.
Yeah.
But this guy has been out of the business for a while, and he came back out of nowhere. And I think this is his first film in a long time.
Yeah, and he's killing it.
Yeah, this guy had range. He was this incompetent, not really incompetent, sorry. This like ditzy kind of airhead character to a very competent kind of character. I was like, you got to give it to, Ki-Hyo Kwan, even though he's been out of the game for a while. And I'm so happy they got him back. I love this guy. I want to see him in more. I want to see him in Shang-Chi too.
Yeah. Also, the one, as she is trying to explain to the husband and wife, husband Raymond and Joy, like how this works. She's like, it's kind of like Ratatouille, but she thinks it's a raccoon for some reason.
Rakakuni?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And this shit was so funny in how they were explaining it, because if you've had that parent or family member who you've had these discussions before, you're like, no, that's not the title of the movie. It was just so funny. It was so good.
Oh, before that, she does enter a universe where she doesn't end up with Waymon, and she's a movie star. And you see the footage of Michelle Yeoh's live.
Yeah. I love it that they sneaked in like actual red carpet footage of Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah,
but they like changed the name to her character's name.
yeah. And
Evelyn's
then and then she tells him like, I saw my life without you and how good it was, and he's like, what?
Yeah, I was like, hold on, Evelyn. Think about what you just said.
Right?
Like, that was messed up.
Right? And then he switches back to Mr. Like, this is our mission. And then she's like, wait, I didn't explain enough. Like, I think you explained pretty much enough what the man should have heard. Like, I don't think he can take any more.
Yeah, and she tells Alpha Wayman that, like, it's beautiful when I was without you. I like that backstory, though, where, like, she didn't go with Wayman, but Wayman still became successful.
Yeah.
And she became a successful movie star, kind of like a Bruce Lee coming of age. Like,
yeah, because she's trained by some kung fu master.
Like, and then goes into the and she goes into like the kung fu movie business.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was very Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Inspired, and I love that.
But at one point, the Gong says like, you have to take your daughter out. And she's like, she can't do it. And then he pulls out his Glock, and George's like, what the fuck is going on? When could he speak such good English, by the way?
And, like, how did he take him out again?
Like, she tapped into a universe where there's like a sex dungeon, and she just like pushes him away.
Oh, yeah, the BDSM locker.
Yeah.
And, like, she presses the button, and she knocks out the dad, and then they get it too. Did she knock out the dad?
I think she just kicked him away for a bit. And then he calls reinforcements, and like everybody verse jumps. And like she keeps tapping into universes where she's a sign spinner, and then she's a singer, where she can
has lung capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's a chef.
I got confused though. Like, how did she suddenly knew what to do?
Right? It's like Wayman took some time getting to know how this thing works, but you were like almost instantly you're like, I got this.
Like, yeah, immediately she knows what weird thing to do so she could tap into the skill that she needs. But I guess do the weirdest thing, and then I guess you connect somewhere. I think it's just by chance.
Well, yeah, before that she like gets her dad's like drool or snot and then puts it in his mouth.
Puts it in his mouth.
Oh my god!
Wayman and Joy had the same reaction I did while I was watching this movie. I was like, ew!
Ew. And then she escapes and meets again, not again, but like first confronts like Mr. Nightwing guy. I'm like, what weird shit should I do? And then at first they can't hear because their earpieces are busted, but he looks at a pointy object and she's like,
oh
no!
No, but that was like a joke at the start of the movie where Jamie Lee Curtis was like, see these awards? You don't just get that from just being any other auditor. But it looks like butt plugs. And we're like,
so she's
was like, is that on purpose? No, but it sticks to the plot though.
It fights
to the plot.
The guy to not have this thing shoved up his ass.
And then the security guard who got beaten the fuck out with dildos lands on it. I love this scene so much because this is probably one of the best fight scenes in this movie. The downside is you just see two of the combatants with shit shoved up their ass while they're fighting, and it's wiggling all over the place.
And to make them stop, she has to remove them.
What?
She has to remove them to make them stop having those abilities. And it works! And then as they're running, they're ambushed by Jenny Slate and her Pomeranian. Which I'm like, this movie's just bad shit at this point. Because Jenny Slate is whipping her Pomeranian around.
And she was doing this whole like, kung fu whip chain thing.
Yeah.
And then she was like kicking the dog and went into the freezer. And then she was like, "Oh my god, my dog!" I was like, "Really? That was the least of your concern? This is like the least of your concerns. You're kicking your own dog and using it as your weapon."
And then when she pulls it out, she like kicks it up back again, starts swinging it.
Yeah.
And then Evelyn goes to a universe where she's a chef. So I'm like, oh my god, are you gonna chop this poor thing in half? But
That's
no,
what I
she
was
just
thinking.
chops the rope. The thing slams against the office and goes skidding off somewhere else. I'm like, that thing has internal bleeding.
Also, I really like. I'll give the director props for this one because, like, her spinning the sign and she incorporates it to. My God, this would have worked amazing. Only with Jackie Chan because it kind of like fits him, but
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh still killed it,
Mm-hmm.
so they didn't really need Jackie Chan. Anyway, like they still incorporate that whole kung fu is everything, like mediocre tasks that you do every day
Yeah.
can be incorporated into kung fu. Like you as a chef and you doing that egg spinning thing on your like spatula, you doing the sign thing, and then you could use it in combat. I was like, that's so. There we go. I like that little what you call it, love letter, I guess.
Yeah.
Kung fu movies.
And then they call in more reinforcements. And no, they bump into Joy because early on she explained that she had this bagel she put everything into and became a black hole. It's like, oh, I guess nothing matters now. Like this movie really is something else, huh?
Yeah, and like it all makes sense now. That's why they had. Like, you were like, oh, they have a demonic symbol. It's actually just a bagel.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she. We find out that Joy put everything. I mean everything into a bagel, and it made a really horrible black hole. Look, you just have to watch the movie to fully understand it.
Like
We're just
I'm,
reviewing it.
yeah, I'm very like, what happens next? Like, Evelyn does quote unquote die at one point. I'm like, when that happens, I'm like, we have an hour left though. What happens now?
But yeah, like we get to Act 2, was it?
Yeah.
So Act 1 was everything. Act 2 is everywhere. And what happened in Act 2? I got so confused.
Weird shit happens. Like, at one point she does profess her love to Waymon in the movie star universe. But when Act 2 starts, we're in the universe where like her life is still not going the same way it is because early on Jamie Lee Curtis is like, you have till 6 p.m. to submit these files, otherwise I'm calling the police on you. Because one, you're just kind of shady because you spent a fucking karaoke machine for it. In a laundromat, why? And two, you punch me.
Asian thing. Yeah. Did she punch her in that universe? I think it's one of the universes that was not touched.
Oh, right. Again, just talking about this movie, I'm like, I'm so confused, but I'll soldier through it. But because this movie is a great movie, god damn it.
Yeah.
Uh,
And like the movie Star One. Are we skipping ahead? I really don't know where I am.
we do. I'm lost like this.
I really don't know where I am anymore.
Because we keep jumping universes. Like, eventually we do find out that Evelyn isn't dead, and that one where she's in the office fighting people, and then two, she's in the movie star universe, and there's one universe where she's a rock. We're like,
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite one though. I'm like, this scene just really stands out of all the movies I've seen this year. Where she's like, I get what world is this? This is a universe where the conditions of life were not sufficient enough for Earth.
Yeah. And to be honest, I kind of enjoyed this scene where they're just like rocks, and I was like, "What the fuck did this movie make such great characters
What rocks?
with geography? Like, why? How? Good on you, A24. You're getting weirder and weirder, and I love you for it."
Yeah, and then we go back to fighting Evelyn, and the husband's like, "Stop this fighting, please."
Yeah.
Enough is
And
enough.
I love the scene where it cuts from her being the action movie star to the present where she is right now, where like when she was with she meets up with Waymond but he's a successful business guy, I guess.
Yeah.
And they go into a back alley, and then she confesses her love to him. He's like, "Whoa, think this through," because she comes in for a kiss. You're like, "Think this through. You left me. If you don't mean it,
Don't do it.
don't get my hopes up. Please don't get my hopes up." And I was like, I don't know, I love that dialogue with him because she did leave him. She loved him, but yet she didn't go with him.
Yeah. And then,
But he would have still loved it if their life was a rundown laundromat and they had to do taxes all day.
Yeah, and then he says, like, I would have loved to have done nothing but laundry and taxes with you. Like, fuck, okay. Like,
Yeah,
I wonder if this movie's gonna pull my heartstrings at the end.
I mean, Wayman is pretty much saying that I love you in every universe.
Yeah. And a much more, like, simplified version. Like, oh.
Yeah.
And then you cut back to laundromat Evelyn, and she's like, just doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, because Joy is already like showing her the bagel. Like,
Yeah.
hey, here's the universe. Like, it doesn't really matter what you do anymore.
Yeah.
And bit by bit, Michelle Yeoh's character Evelyn's becoming more nihilistic.
Yeah.
So she like takes a bath. She breaks her own laundromat. She gets Rakakuni fired. Yeah, we forgot to mention that Rakakuni's real,
Yeah.
but he's on top instead of like a redhead. He's on top of Harry Shun's Jr.'s head.
Yeah.
So,
Like, that part killed me. Like, what the fuck is happening?
exactly, same here. I guess every idea will become a universe.
Yeah. And she's also having this fight with Hot Dog Universe, where...
Oh yeah, where her and Jamie Lee Curtis are lovers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. They went in deep with this hot dog finger universe.
Yeah.
Which I did not like, but yet at the same time, it was very sweet.
Yeah, at the end, you're like, alright, there's a payoff there. Kind of.
They're emotionally and story-driven wise, yes.
But, like, just looking at
But,
it,
like-
it's still weird.
Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, after, her nihilistic sloop, like, her husband, that's when he starts saying, like, we should stop fighting. We should just love each other. And that's when fighting Evelyn is like, alright, I'll fight like my husband. Like, I'll just do it his way, which is peacefully.
Yeah, Wayman has a good, what do you call it? Good dialogue in this scene where they cut back again to movie star Wayman. And he's smoking a cigarette and he's like, hey, my kindness is not me being naive. It's how I fight. And I was like, I don't know, I love that.
Yeah.
I really do. You don't have to be a nihilistic fucker to show that, hey, you're fighting hard in this world. You can have a smile and keep smiling and try to see the brighter side of
Yeah, and
things.
it's not because, you're ignorant or you're naive. It's because, like,
Yeah,
this is the way I choose to see it. Like, this is how I survive.
exactly. And I was like, wow. That was a big-ass message because a lot of people tend to choose being a nihilistic and, like, jaded fucker to be like, I've seen a lot in this world. A lot of things don't matter. No, you could be the happiest dude, but still gone through so much shit.
Yeah. Again, this movie's so good because, like, you think at first, like, Wayman's like a throwaway character. Like, oh,
He's a dunce.
Yeah.
He's the Peter Griffin of the family.
Yeah.
Kind of character at the start.
And then he comes in with heavy dialogue, like, man.
Yeah. Dude kills it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for that. And, like, yeah, going back to the fact that, like, I don't know, we see that it ties into Wayman's character at the start where you see him as this happy-go-lucky guy, but yet he has divorce papers in his hands, which is him choosing happiness.
Yeah.
And through this, like, problem that he's going through. And I was like, damn, this movie got really deep for this one character who's just a support character.
Yeah. And then fighting Evelyn, tries to make it to a Jobu. And then she's stopped by by her dad, who's like apparently half Transformer. Like, the fuck?
The man picked up the mech suit from Alien.
Yeah. At the same
Like,
time,
I was like, what?
in Laundromat Universe, she's like, I know you don't have any pride in me, and that's fine. I am who I am, and this is my daughter, and this is her girlfriend. And at that point, I'm like, I think this movie is trying to pull my fucking heartstrings. God damn it.
It wasn't that part that pulled my heartstrings. Like you could see that like the daughter's like still kind of not accepting the fact that like Michelle Yeoh has changed. I don't know. A lot of complicated emotions, man.
Yeah.
It was a very deep, weird family drama.
Yeah.
When it came to like a mom and a daughter. So I'm just saying, just like turning red, but just weirder.
And then before that though, they also men Patrick with Jamie Lee Curtis character. Cause she's like, you're not unlovable, and she's like, what?
Yeah.
And then they go back to Hot Dog Universe, and
Her and Jamie Lee Curtis like make it up. They start
Yeah.
to have a happier relationship.
Their
And I was
hot
like,
dogs
oh.
definitely get happy too. Like, okay.
And she play like people can't play pianos with their hands, so they start playing it with their feet.
Yeah.
And I was like, at some points it takes me out of it. At the same time, I was like, this movie is so consistent. like continuity wise, it's so consistent. I was like, wow, you know what? It makes sense.
And then at the same in Laundromat Universe, she does. Jamie Lee Curtis like, you know what? I won't arrest you because your husband did tell me your situation, and then they bond over it because she had a similar situation where she was getting a divorce at a rough time in her life. They bond via vape too.
Yeah, and I love this scene where you see, throughout the movie, Evelyn is like every time Wayman talks to the auditor or to somebody else that they're trying to fix something. It's like, oh, look at my silly husband. He's for sure gonna mess this up.
Yeah.
But every time he does talk to the auditor, he always seems to fix the problem.
Right.
Yeah, like he's the one who got her like extra time to get all the papers ready for 6 o'clock, and then now he was able to get her a week. But the entire time she would think that, oh, he's just gonna fuck it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Everything's happening as Jobu's like, hey, the bagel. That's where she's trying to stop Jobu, but she's stopped by her dad, and she has this again amazing dialogue of like, if you love me so much, why did you give me up so easily? And he has a realization. He's like, because she's like, I am your daughter and you're my father, but why did you fight for me harder? And he's like, fuck, right. I let you go. And in Laundromat Universe, he's just stunned. He's like, your girlfriend?
yeah,
And
then like,
he's like, what did he say? Because he speaks in Chinese half the time.
yeah, like in this universe, this James Hong does not speak a lot of English.
Yeah.
And like later on, you see like the girlfriend and the grandpa are like bonding together.
Yeah.
I guess
Uh,
seeing that like he fully accepted it, what was happening.
And then real quick, like Raccoon Universe, like at first the guy's on top of Michelle Yeoh's hair, making her legs work. Or no.
No, he was on top of Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
On his shoulders as he controls her like Ratatouille.
Yeah.
And then he gets tired, and then she was like, "Nah, I got you, fam. Control my hair." I was like, "All right."
Alright. I love the fact this movie, A24, is like, yep, stick to your guns, man. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Go as crazy as we want. Like, it still stays in continuity.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars, take notes. My God.
Right. And then her daughter's like, can you just please stop? Because for some reason, every time we're together, we're hurting.
Yeah, and she's just tired.
Yeah.
I was like, man, hearing those words, like you. For sure, once in our lives we've experienced those words where we just say we're tired.
Yeah.
When it's not like, oh, we're physically exhausted. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And this shit hit me hard. This is the point where I was like, fuck. I was like tearing up and shit. I was
Yeah.
shit
And
hurts.
Evan's like, you know what, you are right. You are getting fat and all this shit. And you're like, Evan, what are you doing?
Whoa, what the fuck? It was like, wait a minute.
But every time, one thing is clear, that I always want to be with you. Here, right now, wherever it may be. And all these emotions going through at the same time. Grandpa's going, girlfriend. He's accepting the fact. You're like, all right, I understand.
Yeah,
Like
you're
all
in a
these,
different generation now.
all these emotions are just going. We're like, wow, this movie. For a multiverse movie, it really doesn't give you a break in terms of like what's happening, or in terms of like my heart should have been pulled. Don't fully understand why, but fuck.
Your your lack of understanding won't compromise the feels in this
Yeah.
movie.
Even the Rock universe where Googly Eyes Rock is like, I'm gonna get you, and Joy Rock just yeets herself off a cliff, and Googly Eyes Rock follows her after. Like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know. I thought it was representing something else, but like as we see, it's just them jumping into the deep end and being like, "Hey, you're jumping into the void, but just know I'm jumping in there with you.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it."
And then we cut back to where we first began, and then it's now all at once, and you see.
Yeah, Act 3.
Yeah.
All at once.
Michelle Yeoh, Evelyn has a better relationship with Waymond. The grandpa accepts, like, this is my family, and I should love them for who they are, especially my daughter and my granddaughter.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that much time, as they said in the movie, where
Yeah,
he's kind of he's coming here because
time's running
man's
short.
getting old. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they've all, thankfully, Evelyn and the grandpa, obviously except Betty, because they're like, thanks for the ride. Fix your hair, though.
I love that kiss.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't get much kisses except for from Betty and Joy. But here, the kiss between Evelyn and Waitman, I was like, aw.
Yeah.
That it legit made me go, aw.
Yeah.
Which a lot of movies don't make me do no more.
And then we're back to the situation where Jamie Clear is like, you understand what I'm saying, right? Your shit's alright now, but like there are a few problems here and there. I know she's talking, Michelle Yeoh just like daydreams again. She's like, Evelyn, are you paying attention?
And it's like, can you say that again? And then, title card. And I was like, ah.
Like all the storylines wrap up so nicely.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
fighting Evelyn managed to pull a joy out of the bagel, and then movie star Evelyn gets to have a second chance with Waymond.
oh, yeah, she does. And, Rakakuni gets the raccoon because when they found out that the raccoon was in a restaurant, they were like taking it away to like an animal
I mean,
something.
a rat's one thing. A big ass raccoon, like, what the fuck is that doing on your head?
Yeah. That's the Asian story of Ratatouille.
But
Oh,
fuck, I'm sorry if we couldn't mention everything that was in this movie, but fuck, this movie,
there's just too much.
yeah,
There's just too much.
like that's why multiverse, Doctor Strange said the multiverse of madness is like, all right, we'll stick to these universes for now, so we don't drive the audience batshit like this movie. But I'm not saying this movie's bad for doing that. I'm saying it's just amazing for taking a chance.
This is like, again, this is like a story where you tell it to the executives and you're like, I want to make this story. All right, what's it about? They go through the script and the story. I'm like, and for some reason, one guy just goes, let's do it. I'm like, how can you explain to somebody this is the story you want to give?
You know, if
Or
you type "is everything everywhere all at once" in Google, like "is" and then the title, it says "is everything everywhere all at once" a Marvel movie?
I mean, it could be. As it's.
Have you seen
But
the
I-
meme of like how to save cinema? Like just place Marvel on all the titles, like "is Hamlet one of Moon Knight's personalities"? I would love that, but no. But just put Marvel in everything, and then that's how you see cinema.
Okay. Damn.
Ah.
Is that everything? Was there like after credits that I don't know about?
No, this is
That,
a full 2-hour movie. Like, I think I've had enough. I watch this
Yes.
again, but like, it might take some time. Not because it's hard to watch, but because it's like, what the fuck happened?
but I feel like this movie does deserve like a second go through. Like
Yeah.
if you've seen it once, you have to watch it again just to see what you missed or like to get the message.
Yeah,
Or like I don't even fully understand the message for fuck's sake, and I watched it twice.
Oh man, what would you rate this movie?
God. Like, okay. Um, for A24 as a studio on itself, like as their lineup of movies, this is probably my favorite.
Ooh.
Like, yes, even more than Northland. And for Robert Eggers, that's my favorite Robert Eggers movie. But for A24, this is it. And this is directed by the guy who did Swiss Army Man. I guess I haven't seen that. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I don't know. I just love the messages that this movie gives, and it gives so much messages. Like a lot of lessons that you're gonna learn from this movie, and you're gonna enjoy every minute of it. Is it rewatchable? Fuck yes. Is it fun to watch with your family?
Depends.
Perhaps when you're in your 20s, 20s or like later teens, but you can't watch this with your kids.
Yeah, they'd be like,
but,
"Ha," and you'd be like, "Hot dog."
Yeah, hot dog.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I love this story so much. I love the character of Wayman, and I love that Ki Hyun Kwan is back in the movie business. And I don't know, I love the story of the difference between nihilism and like being optimistic nihilism. I don't know. Sure, it means so much more, but yeah, that's a message that I got from it. But this movie for sure is a 10 out of 10 for me. I will watch it again. I want to watch it with my family because it's so fun and funny, and there's martial arts for fuck's sake. I'm a sucker.
Yeah. Again, another A24 movie where I'm like, I really can't think of anything negative, actually. Like, again, also, like, the fact that you're not a Marvel or DC movie, like, of course, it deals with the multiverse because, Doctor Strange or The Flash. It's like, no, it's this woman who experiences multiple versions of herself through this story because of this. And they're like, huh? You're sure it's not some Doctor Strange spin-off? Nope. It's just a original idea come to fruition, and it pays successfully because this was dominating the box office for weeks before the Batman. And then, of course, the Batman's like, hey, it's our turn.
Yeah. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 for me too. Fuck, this movie's brilliant, and like I would watch it again. Like maybe with my family. I don't know.
Oh no, dude! I really suggest watching it with your family.
All right.
Like, yeah, you guys are old enough to know what dildos are. You know what butt plugs are. You're fine.
But yeah, that has been our video for Everything Everywhere All at Once. What do you guys think of it? Please be cool in the comments, and you can find us at facebook.com/geeksanddegenerates. We react to trailers, we live stream video games, and live stream about our lives because our lives are kind of interesting. Kind of. Unique.
It's a lot to say, but okay.
Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus1995 on IG and Twitter. How about you, good sir?
God, you oversold us. Okay. But yeah, you can find me at JomGeom on Instagram. It is my account.
And please remember to stay safe, wear a mask, social distance, and get vaccinated if you can. How could I forget? Please remember to like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. And we also have a Spotify podcast. If you just want to hear our voices, there we go. And before we end, of course, remember to get your booster for fuck's sake. I know I'm rearranging this, but you know what? Fuck it.
Okay. Nothing matters. We're just a little speck in the universe.
Right? But for this video at least, that's all the time we have. We'll see you on the next one, and the next one will be quite exciting. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.